Guys, it's Jessica from Crazy Blessed Family. I'm so glad that you guys have been subscribing and watching my videos and commenting and liking. I love it. I love the interaction. I'm going to be uploading some more videos pretty soon of my cats, and so I just hope that you enjoy that. But first, let me tell you a little bit about my cats. All three of them are rescue cats. I love rescue animals because, they just seem like they are, I don't know, I feel like they're more grateful for the human interaction and the human love that we give them. But all three of my cats are rescue cats. So, first off, we have Chaos. So this is Chaos. She is a 6-year-old American Shorthair Calico in color. She's very sweet, but she is also like a one-person cat. So she loves me. She does love the other family members, but she will pretty much let me do whatever I need to with her. So I got her from my ex-husband. He and his wife found out that they were pregnant, and it was during 2020, and she could not change the litter box. When she had her, she was just a kitten, and so my ex-husband said, either you come get her, or we're going to throw her outside the pasture and just hope she lives. And I said, absolutely no way. So I came and got her, and she has been with us ever since. Chaos. Hey. She is definitely the alpha, so she runs the roost. She thinks that she is a number one, and she pretty much is. I'm trying to think. She has a pouch that we call it her fluff. And it's just like the little fatty pouch that protects her organs, but hers is much bigger and hangs down and waddles back and forth whenever she runs. So it's pretty funny. She's great. She has no known issues. She is spayed. She's very sweet to me. She likes to be beautiful. So sometimes if she's in the mood and I tell her, "You are so beautiful," she'll turn over and show her belly. But let's see if she'll do it for me now. Oh, Chaos. You're so pretty. You're so beautiful. No, not right now. Oh. Not right now. Next up is Mischief. So this is Mischief. She's also about 6 years old. Mischief is definitely my cat. She loves to be petted, loves to be loved on, but do not dare pick her up. She freaks out. But she's very sweet. But she wants mommy all the time. She's very, very needy. So the story behind her is, after I got Chaos, I decided that Chaos needed a friend. And my husband said no. And so I begged him and begged him, and he kept telling me no. And so this was during the pandemic. This is when everybody was shut down. And a lot of us were getting the $600 a week checks from the president. And so my husband said, in joke, mind you, in joke, that we could get another cat if he could have an Xbox One. I said, deal. And I bought it. So, joke's on him. We got this cat. Now, this cat, she is also approximately 6 years old now. Got her just a couple months after we had Chaos. And I was just basically looking for another kitten to kind of go, you know, as a sibling, basically, for Chaos. So this lady that I knew of messaged me, and she said that she had a litter of kittens that she was needing to get rid of, and that I was, you know, feel free to come over and look at any of them, take as many of them as you want, take the mama if you want. And so I looked at pictures of them. I kind of decided which one I wanted. And then we went over to the house, and her little boy came out. And her little boy came out holding some kittens around the neck. Now, he was probably about 8 years old that time. He also has some problems. He was an early premature baby, so mentally he was probably a lot younger. But anyways, so he came in with these kittens around the throat and carried them in, and immediately I just wanted to take all of them because I didn't want that to happen to any of the other ones. However, I'm pretty sure that my husband would have divorced me by then if I came home with all of the cats. So I let my kids choose, and they conclusively picked Mischief. Mischief was solid, almost completely solid white whenever we got her, and she was just so cute and fuzzy. Funny enough, my husband's not a cat person, not hardly at all. So when he saw this kitten, he was not impressed. However, the cat liked him. Hey, I love you. And so she would jump up on his lap whenever he was sitting on the couch and, you know, get in the crook of his arm and sleep. And anyways, he was like, this is this thing that's in the way. And one day, I guess Mischief had stretched or something, accidentally clawed him a little bit with her little teeny baby claws. And he said, ow, and that scared her, and so she doesn't really care for him anymore. She doesn't mind him if I'm not home, but she is definitely a mama's cat. And I love her very much, and she's very precious. Later on, and I'll have to do another video sometime on her, but when she got a little bit older, she actually she has two blue eyes, and that's a Siamese in her. She's a lynx point, so she is a Siamese and a tabby mix. And when she was a little bit older, one of her eyes turned brown, and I got very concerned because her and Chaos were constantly running and playing, and I don't declaw my cats because, in my opinion, that's cruel, because you're not just taking out the nail bed, you're taking out their last knuckle of their toes. So, I don't declaw them. But in the same sense, they were fight playing all the time, as kittens do. And so I got worried that, you know, maybe she got scratched in the eye, and that brown was blood that was pooling. And so I took her to the vet, and she was actually, the vet said they didn't really know what was going on with her eye or why it was that color. They said that cats actually filter their extra things that's in their body, salt, sugar, whatever is, you know, extra, too much in their body, in their eyes, which I did not know that. And he said, but we've got something else going on with her. And I thought, oh no. And so I'll do a specific video on her one day, but he asked me if she started running into things. And I said no. She's actually one of my most agile out of the two. She's the most agile. She jumps, she runs, she lands, she jumps higher than everybody, you know. He's like, she doesn't run into walls, she doesn't stumble and fall off of things. And I thought, oh my goodness, no, you know. And he said, well, look at her. And so he held up her finger, and she was trying to focus on his finger, but her eyes kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But she was focusing. And he said, we call that baby doll eyes. And I was like, okay. She's always done that, you know, ever since I've had her. And he said it's kind of like a shaking baby syndrome in animals. Basically, she should not be able to do the things that she does. So, you know, she's not quite all there. Me laughing, I'm like, we always said she was a dingbat, and now we know she really is, you know. And anyways, it was just funny. But so anyways, yeah, he said that her body has overcome, her brain has overcome those issues that have been damaged in her brain. And he said, you know, as long as she's not, you know, running into things, being disoriented. And I thought, no, she's great. So anyways, that was pretty cool. And I thought that was okay for the longest, just to have 2 cats. And then I went to church one day, and I met, you guessed it, Mayhem. Mayhem was just a little tiny little gremlin when I met him. We actually had seen him and a brother of his in the he's so funny, in the parking lot of our church. And I wanted to take them home so bad, and my husband told me no. And he will be, I think, about 4 this summer probably. And my husband told me no. And his brother was just as sweet, but I went ahead and sat his brother, in a vehicle with a friend of mine, and she took him home and still has him to this day. His name is Meow Meow. Mayhem, my husband made me leave him, and I was devastated. Both of my girls cried. My son was upset. I was upset. It was a very hard thing for me to leave an animal that small, knowing there's dogs that run off. There's other big cats that run around out there, and I just didn't want something bad to happen to him. And I left. I was very angry with my husband, but I understood where he was coming from. We already had 2 dogs. We already had 2 cats. And so I was respecting that, but at the same time, it didn't feel good. So we get home, and I told my husband, I said, listen, I'm listening to you this time, but if we come back to church and that cat comes back, I'm not leaving him a second time. I can't do it. And he didn't really say anything. He probably thought, whatever, the cat's probably not coming back. Sure enough, 2 or 3 weeks later, here comes this kitten, and he comes running up to us, and I said, oh my gosh, he's here. So I took him home, and of course, I stuck with the theme, Chaos, Mischief, Mayhem. He was a love bug from the very beginning. So as you guys can see in his videos, he's precious. He loves to be cuddled on. He loves to be messed with. He's the complete opposite of the girls. And Mayhem has been just this precious little ball of sunshine. You know, he's not given us any fits really. When we got him neutered, he was still running around like a crazy cat. But he is one of those that you can just pretty much do whatever you want to. Hello, Mayhem. You can do whatever you want to him. He is very lovey. He's very talkative. He's just the sweetest thing ever. And, you know, I love these cats. These cats are like my kids. We've had an orange one in the past named Trouble that I adopted, and I didn't know that much about him. He was already grown whenever I got him, so he didn't make it. We think he was probably older than what they thought, and possibly had more health problems than what they thought, because he was just at a shelter, and you know, you don't know much about them. But anyways, so that's the story on my cats, Chaos, Mischief, and Mayhem. And they are just, sometimes I worry that you guys will get tired of seeing this one especially. But he is really just the most precious thing, and I am thankful that you guys love them. I am so glad that you guys subscribe and that you watch these videos of them. I ask that you share these with your friends and family and anybody else that you know that loves cats like I do. I am an animal lover, but I am a cat lover, and I love things all cats, and I don't plan on stopping making any videos very soon. So I thank you guys for watching this. If you can, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down, what is your cat's name? If you have a cat, what is your cat's name? Or what is the funniest name that you've ever named your cat? I would love to know. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. Love y'all.